the beauty of an exchange, it means that players get to bet against other players rather than betting against the house or betting against the sports book. So that allows for somebody to take a position against a football team or against a selection that they may not like. It allows them to trade positions, allows them to bet in play. It's the same principles as a sports book, but it's a very different user experience. We operate in primarily our first place is the UK and Irish market, and it's a very competitive market. We have a base commission rate of 2% net win, which is very, very low and competitive, and but it's great for bringing liquidity. It brings all different types of players into the market. But we also obviously deal with sharp bettors, and people say, well, how does that work? And other exchanges have premium charges and stuff like that. 95% of our players stay on 2% or sometimes less depending on our business type. But the way we like to do it is we'll have a conversation with them and we'll agree on a rate that works for the customer and works for us. The goal is to keep the liquidity flowing and make sure everybody can participate on Matchbook. Yeah, so look, Betfair are a big company and had a 10 plus year head start on Matchbook. Well, I like to think in the last 5 years we've got a real effort to get closer. We deal with huge amount of market makers and high volume players, and we've kind of done it on a sport by sport basis. So we got very strong at horse racing and greyhounds 5 years ago. Then we worked on soccer, got stronger at soccer. Matchbook historically was always strong at US sports, NFL, NBA, etc. And we've kept that. And then in recent years, we're trying to improve sport one by one. It's always a challenge. We're always looking for people to bring liquidity, but I'd like to think in the last 5 years we've made a lot of improvements there. Well, the beauty of working with these large syndicates who, do their own model and, are very successful at both market making and continuously making money from a very difficult industry, which is betting. Their data is the reason that our markets can be so close to 100% and you get the better value than sportsbooks, because these guys can be aggressive because they're just that bit smarter than everybody else. Yeah, so like I said, we're in a very, very competitive market in the UK and Ireland, and we're competing against massive sports books and companies with big marketing budgets. And it's obviously, a sportsbook customer is a lot more valuable than an exchange customer because it's a lot more low margin business. But we find our content via podcasts, or we like to feel our personal touch with customers. We go out and meet people, and we make sure that not only just starting out with Matchbook, once you're with Matchbook, that we look after you. So we've kind of gone with that approach because it's just more sensible than throwing a lot of money at marketing, which is very, very expensive. Yeah, so look, the American market has got very interesting, obviously, in the last 5 years or so. And we looked at it early about, potentially going there. And we realised quite quickly it was going to be quite expensive. There's a lot of barriers to entry, and then the exchanges are hard because it's state by state. But then again, in the last 6 to 12 months, the prediction markets have appeared, which are very, very like an exchange. So maybe now we're really looking at the opportunity again, because that federal option to have a prediction market is quite appealing to us. So America is back on our list of possibilities. Yeah, so look, in most markets there's a limited amount of exchanges that make sense, but I actually, as time has gone and I realised that the more exchanges that exist globally and stuff, the better, because it's just educating more people on how exchanges work. Exchanges like Timeless Tech, they often bring interesting products that we haven't thought of, and that's quite exciting, and they can be quite innovative, whereas we have a product where we're maintaining that. So I often look to operators like Timeless Tech, etc., to see what they're doing, and maybe we can kind of learn from them. One good thing is we get to listen to our customers, so we always like to take feedback, and we do different projects from year to year. We've improved our app a lot in the last 5 years, and it's very smooth and people like it. And then we do improvements to our bet slip, but we do it with the feedback from our own customers, so we're not kind of depending on somebody else to provide us with something. So it gives us a real opportunity to maybe learn from clever things other people are doing, but also we can get feedback from our own customers to help improve our products.